top seed of the event, Krishnan Shashikiran, by far the second strongest Indian player for many years now. Second seed, Vladimir Akopian from Armenia. Parimarjan Negi from India, an extremely talented young boy. And this is John Ludvig Hammer from Norway. Former World Junior Champion, Abhijit Gupta. Surya Shekhar Ganguly, several times Indian national champion and also known as a second of Viswanathan Anand. Emanuel Berg from Sweden. Grandmaster from Belgium, Vadim Malakhatko. Mikhail Magdalishvili from Georgia, winner of several strong tournaments across the globe. Kadir Gusinov from Azerbaijan. Levan Pansulaya from Georgia. Local hopeful and grandmaster Salem A.R. Saleh from UAE. Alexei Fedorov from Belarus. Saptarshi Roy Chaudhary, international master, a grandmaster in the waiting. In fact, he has completed all the requirements for the grandmaster title. Anvesh Upadhyay, international master from India. This is Anna Jojulia, wife of Vadim Malakhatko. Almira Mirzoeva from Russia. Almira is also a known journalist, covers chess. Tanya Sachdev from India, recipient of Arjuna Award. And a young talent, Dinara Sadukusova from Kazakhstan. The 13th edition of the Dubai International Open Chess Tournament, Dubai, UAE, was inaugurated by the brother of His Highness Sheikh Saeed bin Hamid Al Maktoum. Starting time, Krishnan Shashikiran, the top seeded player of the event, opens with white pieces. Krishnan Shashikiran up against Vladimir Feldman from Australia. Opens with the queen pawn with an ELO rating of 2682. Shashikiran has been one of the top Indian players for many years now. Currently ranks behind Viswanathan Anand, the world champion. The fourth ranked Indian is Surya Shekhar Ganguly, several times national champion. Seeded fifth here, he is facing Jan-Michael Guedes from France. Zaven Andriasyan from Armenia is playing with black pieces here. Sayantan Das, young talent, facing Vladimir Akopian from Armenia, the second seed. This is Mikhail Magdalishvili up against Al Arauzi Abdul Hamid of Egypt. Khader for Shastase is playing with white pieces. Opponent is Alexei Alexandrov. Sergey Volkov from Russia is playing with white pieces here, and this is super talent Parimarjan Negi in action in his first round up against Nazi Mohammad Saeed Al Razi from UAE. It's a French defense game. Rated at 2618 ELO rating points. Parimarjan Negi. Al Sahid Mohammad of Qatar is playing Jade Smith. And this is 2008 World Junior Champion Abhijit Gupta playing with black pieces in the opener against Amir Kausarania from Iran. Grandmaster norms under his belt. Ashwin Jairam is playing with white pieces. Many famous names of the game. Almira Mirzoeva from Russia. Tanya Sachdev playing black. Emmanuel Berg also playing with black pieces in this round. And this is Jan Ludwig Hammer up against a young talent. Abhijit Gupta is playing.
A nice victory in the first round. How was the game?
It was quite an easy game. I had a local player, and in French an hour, I don't think he had an idea about how to place his pieces exactly. So it finished quite soon.
So you are well prepared for Dubai Open?
I hope so. I've tried my best after my board exams to come back into shape, and it will be a good test for me.
It was fairly easy actually. My opponent played the Caracan and I played the advanced variation, and then he allowed me to weaken his structure, and then he allowed me to open the position further, and his king was in the center, so I just finished him off.
So from tomorrow onwards, the rounds will be getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, mostly.
Are you prepared for that?
Yeah, I am.
Tanya, a nice victory with black. Can you describe the game?
I was playing a lower rated opponent. It was the first round, and it was some Queen's Indian, and so it's always very difficult for black to break, but he made a mistake out of the middle game, and I think tactically he just missed something, and then I was just better completely.
So from tomorrow onward, it will be a tough game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Abhijit, a nice victory with black. Can you describe the game?
Yeah, I was playing against a low-rated player. I mean, a young boy from Iran, and tried to play for a draw right from the beginning. And I had some problem in the beginning, how to continue, because he started exchanging everything. But yeah, slowly I managed to outplay him in the end game.
Yeah, it was night of opening. I got slight initiative in the opening when he gave both the bishops, and his king was in center. But I think later he got a way to escape with his king, and somehow he was solidifying his positions. I think at one point I could have opened the center and then directly launched an attack in the center. But somehow I just slowed down a bit, and then we got into some ending. And at the end, though I was better, it was unfortunate that he completely forgot about the time control. He thought we are playing under 40 moves control. So after 40th move, he went to have a cup of coffee, and he came back and he was thinking. And when his flag fell, basically, he was under the impression that he will get another 30 minutes. But this was unfortunate for him.
You are the top seed at Dubai Open, and this was your first victory in the first round. How was the game?
Well, it was. I guess it was quite complex in the first. I mean, not exactly tactically, but it's kind of strategically complex. But my opponent missed this move, Bishop G3,
Maybe slightly, maybe we could just go back rook k8 again, but instead he played b6, after which I think I have some slight initiative in the queen side after b4. And after this he miscalculated further, and then positionally he was completely worse on the queen side. At some point I managed to win a pawn on the queen side, and then after this it's probably just technique.
The beginning of the second round of the 13th Dubai International Open Chess Tournament. Playing with white pieces is S. Satya Pragyan, also a Grandmaster in waiting, and he's facing the top seed of the event, Krishnan Shashikiran. Satya Pragyan is facing a Sicilian defense from Shashi. Kiran is a player with immense ability. He's also an excellent leader, as has been proven a few times already when he captained Team India, especially in the last World Team Championship, where he guided the team to a bronze medal finish. Zamin Andreasyan is facing Ashwin Jairam here, and Tanya Sachdev is playing white against Sergey Volkov. Vijit Gupta is also playing his first white in the tournament. Up against Maqsad Atabayev from Turkmenistan. Tense battles. Murtaz Kajgalev from Kazakhstan in action. Here is Anvesh Upadhyay, also playing with white pieces here. Anvesh is facing Suresh Shekhar Ganguly, who has opted for the King's Indian defense. Mirzoeva here, black pieces. Evgeny Miroshnichenko, one of the big names present here, up against Andrei Gutov there, and this is Shiven Khosla, a young international master in the making. Shivain, just 14 years. This is Parimarjan Negi with black pieces against Prathamesh Mokal. Prathamesh Mokal playing with white. And Parimarjan goes for his trademark Sicilian defense. Jan Ludvig Hammer, the second highest rated Norwegian after world number 2 Magnus Carlsen. Hammer has steadily made his mark. Huge participation, 168 participants. The total prize pool is $45,000, with the winner's purse being $8,000. This time certainly the best have turned up for the Dubai Open.
Parimarjan, a nice victory against Mokal Prathamesh. How was the game?
It was a very complicated game. The opening was unclear. I think he was pushing for an advantage, but I was quite happy with the way I played. Then in time pressure, I think both sides had chances, but I tried and I took my chances, and in the end game I converted it quite smoothly. I think it was a good game to come into shape.
Today you beat Surya Ganguly. How tough was the game?
Actually, I prepared some opening and fortunately he got into it. And I had a stable plus throughout the game, but at some point it was like completely winning for me. And after that I was short of time and I messed up a position a bit. But then again he tried to win in that. It was almost equal, but he tried to win and it was like he got into some knight fork and he lost his exchange actually. So after that it was simple, but in the end it was like he was pressing too much for a win and he lost.
The beginning of the third round, the lead positions have changed since Krishnan Shashikiran was held to a draw by compatriot S. Satya Pragyan in round 2. Zavin Andreasyan, a former World Junior champion, takes on the battle on the top board up against Guliev Sarhan from Azerbaijan, who plays white. Amar Lalit Babu is playing on the second board up against Yuri Kuzubov from Ukraine. Lalit Babu is going for an English opening. The third round game between Amar Lalit Babu and Yuri Kuzubov of Ukraine. Kuzubov, Grandmaster. Lalit Babu striving to become one. With white pieces, the Indian started with knight f3. It's his pet move for many years now. Kuzubov goes for the King's Indian defense setup, and in fact voluntarily goes for wrecking off his right to castle. Lalit Babu comes up with this e5 move, a very daring maneuver. It's not something that is played every day. White, one school of thought would definitely say that White should be concentrating on developing his pieces rather than going for these pawn advances. But the point is, Lalit Babu has successfully shut out the scope for this bishop. And obviously it was a very, very long diagonal bishop, but for this pawn, which is stopping its way. Kuzubov goes on exerting pressure on the e pawn now. Lalit Babu defending it through an X-ray defense. Knight b4 and long castle. Star move. This is sacrificing a pawn. Lalit Babu here realizes the importance of his better developed pieces, and of course a little difficult position for the black king, stranded in the center, cannot castle here. Black king and this white rook has now come into play. The knight can jump to many places. Here, attacking on c5 for example. This is how this would be more apt really. c5, because this would be a check. Kuzubov already having played knight b4 on the previous move, he wasn't possibly expecting that Lalit Babu will sacrifice this pawn, but the Indian has come up with this remarkable resource. And already some problems for Kuzubov, who had to accept his sacrifice, didn't really have a choice. And Lalit Babu's knight now goes on a carnage. This is a discovered check to the king, and the pawn that was lost just a move before has been recovered successfully. The b7 pawn is also attacked. Bishop came to f5, giving a check to the white king. Bishop b3. Perfect defense. So, black can now boast of a double bishop advantage, but the other bishop is completely out of play thanks to that very impressive e5 move early in the opening. Very perfectly calculated by Lalit Babu. And now, again, white is improving his position. While black is put on the defense. Two bishops against two knights now. very wisely. Kuzubov goes for giving up one of the pieces. And now it's Dalit Babu's turn to quickly mastermind the advance of his pawns and start to put a bit of a pressure. Possibly with correct play, Kuzubov can still hold this position. But obviously the Ukrainian Grandmaster also wanted to win this game. Now he fell for this. Dalit Babu still close to getting an equal position, but this is where Kuzubov goes wrong, allowing the white king to march inside. And now suddenly the pawn on f7 is going, cannot be defended any further, and the g6 pawn is also under the scanner now. Dalit Babu now nonchalantly trying to develop his position further. And after king f5, Kuzubov saw no reason in continuing this game, called it a day. A fantastic effort by Dalit Babu.
How was the game?
Yeah, the game was very difficult. It was in the opening I exchanged the queens and it's a slight advantage for me. But he played very well and he defended very well and it went to the drawish end game. But he tried a lot, so I got because of the f7 weakness, I got a winning position. Due to the weakness in the f7, I got the entry via king g5 and king f6, so I won very easily.
And this was a class game by a young Indian as he went on to beat Kuzubov with white. Levan Pansulaya is playing with black pieces up against Karen Grigorian from Armenia, and this is Stelios Halkias from Greece. Satyapragyan, who drew with Shashi in the first round, up against Evgeny Miroshnichenko, who also dropped a half point in the second. M. Sham Sundar, Abhijit Gupta is playing with black pieces up against S. Nitin, an international master from Tamil Nadu in India. Abhijit hails from Rajasthan. He's employed by the Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. And this is Saptarshi Roy Chaudhary up against Akopian. Akopian, a member of the gold medal winning Armenian team in the chess Olympiad. This is Shashi Kiran with white pieces in this round up against Andrei Gutov. Gutov from Russia. Dinara Sadugusova playing with white pieces here. Sureshekhar Ganguly was shocked by compatriot Anvesh Upadhyay in the previous round. Top battles in progress. Irina Berezina from Australia there up against Alexei Alexandrov, and this is Vadim Malakhatko playing with white. Pontus Carlsen from Sweden. He's also dropped a full point coming into the third round. In deep thought, here is Parimaj Negi, who is up against a Berlin defense by Andrei Gutov. Almira Mirzoeva meanwhile has done well in the first two rounds to notch 1.5 points. She's facing Tigran Kotanian from Armenia. Rakhmesh Mokal found Parimarjan Negi too hot to handle in the previous round, playing on 1 point. And Tanya Sachdev lost from a position of strength against Sergey Volkov in the previous round, and she is also on 1 point with black pieces in the third round game. 168 participants from across the globe, 42 Indians in this year's Dubai International Open Chess Tournament. Khadirpur Sastise playing white. Raful Javeri, a famous coach who works in Mumbai, in action in Dubai, and this is Shiven Khosla.
Game was Slav opening variant, Czech variant was. In general opening was knew nothing not was, but he riskily go in queen side, start attacking, and allow me play attacking in king side, and my attack was stronger than the attack, and I.
Tanya, again with black, you won the game. How was the game?
Alapin hua tha aaj, and okay, I think I misplayed the opening because my opponent got a very good position out of the opening, and but after that the middle game became very complicated. It was full of tactics, and उन्होंने एक sacrifice मारा जो शायद इतना strong नहीं था. Till the very end it was quite a tensed game and both sides could get checkmated. So I managed to win it after that.
Ashfi, can you tell us something about today's game?
Okay, today my opponent came about half an hour late, and after that he played the French defense. Then I played one certain interesting setup which gave me a space advantage, and he wasn't able to get enough counterplay. And after some time, I just broke through.
A very convincing victory with white. Can you describe your game?
It was a Berlin defense, and I think he had a very solid position. I was having a very slight edge, and I kept on pushing him on that. I think the end game I played technically quite well, and he missed a few chances, so it was a nice finish in the end.
Okay, I thought I have consolidated in the opening after knight f1, but somehow it was not so easy to find the right way, and at the moment I had to give my bishop on b3 for his knight on d5, and after this his bishop is always providing some compensation. In fact, he achieved a quite fortress sort of stuff, and only in the end he allowed me to play h4, h5, which is already providing some kind of mating attacks on the background. And even after this, probably he should have exchanged rooks at some point, and instead he blundered a pawn on f5. After this, my king is just taking a refuge on g4, and I'm just 2 pawns up. So after this, it's winning. Yeah.
Sham, you won against the grandmaster.
Yeah.
How was the game?
Yeah, it was quite tough. Actually, I forgot the theory. I just know the plan. I think he made some dubious in the opening, and I made a pawn sack to attack, and after that I think I won him by force.